All right, we are back and we are playing some 40k this time. We're going to have the Necrons versus the Imperial Guard. This is going to be our table. We are going to be using these radar towers as the objectives. We have Objective 2, Objective 3, Objective 6. That is 5 over there, number 1, and number 4. This is our table. We're actually going to change things up a little bit, and we're going to play on the long table edge to give ourselves some more room to move in the middle. We're going to be playing at 3,000 points today, so we will take you guys over to the armies, and then we will get deployed. All right, thanks for joining us again. Okay, here's our 3,000 points of Imperial Guard. These guys have been in service for a long time. I painted these guys back in the 90s. So let's see what we have today. There's been a few additions over the years, but for the most part, most of this army's been with me for a long time. Today, they're going to be led by a Commissar Lord as one HQ choice. As another HQ, we're going to have a officer with his squad, and there's a missile launcher in the officer, or in that squad. They're mounted in a Chimera. For troops, we are going to have a mounted infantry platoon, 2 squads with the officer, so there's 3 Chimeras for there. This officer has 3 grenade launchers in his squad, and then the regular infantry squads each have a missile launcher. And then over here we have pretty much a duplicate of the same thing. 1 infantry platoon mounted in Chimeras. The officer's squad has 3 plasma guns. And then the infantry squads each have a missile launcher. So then, and each of them have a squad of heavy bolters attached to them. Then moving on to elites, we've got Sly Marblow over there. We've got a Salamander scout vehicle. And then moving into fast attack, we have a squad of sentinels. Then we also have, what else is in fact? 2 chimeras, or 2, not chimeras, 2 hellhounds. Those are separate squads, so they'll be running separately. For heavy support, we have 2 vanquishers that are running in 1 squad. And then we have a squad of tank hunter destroyers. We have a Hydra, and we have an Avenger strike fighter. Unfortunately, I didn't paint him. I bought him off of eBay that way, but he kind of fit in with the army, so we're just probably going to leave him the way he is for now. And then as our Lord of War, we are going to take a Stormblade from the Forge World books. So that is 3,000 points of Imperial Guard, for what it's worth. All right, we will go over to the Necrons and see what they're bringing to the table. Okay, what do we have in 3,000 points of Necrons?
So for HQ, or our Warlord will be Overlord. From our base infantry, we got 2 units of 20 warriors, each with a Cryptek. 2 units of 10 Immortals, each with a Lord. 2 units of 4 Destroyers. 2 Spiders. 9 Scarabs. Here, lurking in the shadows, we got 6 Death Marks. 2 Monoliths for the heavy support. And to give us a little aerial superiority, we got 3 Night Sides and a Doom Scythe.
Okay, that is a lot. And did you say this was a Cryptek?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. All right, that is 3,000 points of Necrons. We'll go ahead and get deployed, and then we will bring you guys back up. All right, we are all set up. We have, on the Imperial Guard side, the Sentinels have scouted out. The Salamander is scouted out. going down the line, we have one infantry platoon still mounted in their chimeras. We have the 2 vanquishers. We have the heavy bolter team up here on objective number 6. We have the 3 destroyers. We have the HQ mounted in their chimera. The Commissar Lord is going to join the officer. We have the Stormblade. The other heavy bolter team is mounted up here in this building. Hellhound, Hydra hiding behind the building. We have the other infantry platoon, another Hellhound over there. And there's the Salamander. Hopefully we'll get somebody up to objective 5. Moving over here to the Necrons. We've got destroyers, warriors. What's this guy with them? Is he a lord?
That's a Cryptek.
Cryptek, all right. And then more destroyers, another Cryptek, and more warriors. And there is the Scarabs and the Spiders. In reserve, the Imperial Guard have Sly and the Avenger. All the Necron flyers are in reserve, along with the monoliths and the what's that big guy? The Overlord. And yeah, so there we are. We are going to get ready. We're going to get started. We haven't rolled to see who's going first, so we'll bring you guys back after turn 1. All right, Necrons won first turn. This is where they sit. They've moved up. The destroyers have moved up to there. The warriors have moved up to there, hugging some of the terrain for cover saves. These guys are secure in that building. And at the end of turn 1, the Necrons have scored 3 objective points because they had 2 cards for holding objective 4, which is that one there. And they had another one for hold the line for keeping 3 or more units within 12 of their deployment zone. So they're up right now 3-0 in favor of the Necrons. And we are getting ready to move over to Imperial Guard turn 1. At the end of Guard turn 1, this is where we sit. Everybody kind of moved up with the exception of the Stormblade. It kind of hung back there. Firing the destroyer, tank hunter destroyers took aim at the Necron destroyers and killed one of them. The Hydra took another wound off one. And then a lot of tanks and units either had to run or move 12. The Stormblade fired its apocalyptic blast at the Necrons there in the building. Took out 2 of them and then 5 bases worth of Scarabs because it scattered off a little bit. And that was about it. We did score supremacy because we control 2 objectives, and that is twice as many as the Necrons. So that was worth D3 extra points, and I only rolled a 1. So the Necrons are still ahead with 3 points to my 1. And we're going to head into Necrons turn 2. All right, here we are at the end of Necron turn 2, and it was quite a turn 2 for the Necrons. They hit it out of the park with their reserve rolls. They got in a monolith. They got in the death marks hiding over there. They got in 2 night size, and they got in the doom sigh. So in the shooting phase, the monolith here managed to nuke one of my sentinels. It also managed to take... it immobilized this chimera and got a weapon destroyed on this chimera using the particle whip. Over here, this Night Sigh put a hull point onto that Hellhound. And then moving over here, this Night Sigh managed to destroy this Hellhound. And the Doom Sigh put a hull point onto the Salamander. So that is where we sit right there. The death marks couldn't quite hit this turn. The Necrons scored 3 more points this turn. They got 1 for First Blood for taking out the Chimera, the Hellhound, and they got another one for securing objective number 1, and they got another one. What was your other point for?
What did you say so far?
Securing objective 1 and first blood.
Oh, the other one was overwhelming firepower.
Overwhelming firepower. So the Necrons are now up to 6 to the Imperial Guard's 1. So we're heading into Imperial Guard turn 2. We'll see if we can get some points back. Okay, end of Guard turn 2, and this is how things sit. We have the Avenger came in right there, and Sly came in right there. We kind of moved some things up to get into some better shooting positions. Vanquisher took 1 hull point off of this monolith, and a last cannon from the Stormlord took, or not Stormlord, Stormblade took another one off. The what is it? The Tank Hunter Destroyers took out some more of these guys over here. This squad moved up and took hold of this building. And let's see. Oh, the Hellhound and some other multi-laser shots did some damage to those destroyers over there. We have a whiny dog in the background there. The Avenger took 1 hull point off of this Night Sigh in the middle. And, oh, the Stormblade killed 3 Necrons up there in the building. So that is where things sit at. And the Necron, or the Imperial Guard, scored another point for controlling Objective 6. So right now we're sitting with 6 points to 2 in favor of the Necrons as we go into Necron turn 3, and hopefully the dog will regain his composure as the cats outside torment him. All right, we'll bring you guys back after Necron turn 3. All right, turn 3 was another good one for the Necrons. They had another monolith come in over there, which teleported a squad in right there with a Lord and what are those guys?
Lich
Guard?
Yeah.
And then this monolith teleported in a Lord with a squad of Immortals, who I believe it was the Immortals that shot up this squad here. They're down to 3 guys, but they are still holding. The monolith took another hull point off of this guy and took another hull point off of this guy. The particle whip came down and wiped out most of this squad, and now the remainders are running. Over here, what was it? Was it the Doomsai? The Doomsai took out one of the destroyers with its Tesla gun, and then took out another destroyer with its what is that? Doom Ray? Death Ray. Over here, this Night Sigh finished completely took out my Avenger, and it crashed over behind here. So now we have no air support. The destroyers over here took out my Hellhound. Over here, this monolith took a hull point off of that Chimera. And, then the spiders shot my Salamander in the back and blew it up. So it was quite a turn for the Necrons. They are currently sitting on 8 points because they got 1 for holding Objective 4. And they got 1 for, what did you do? Oh, you broke a unit. A unit broke from shooting over here. So that's where it is. It is currently 8 points to 2 in favor of the Necrons. We'll see if the Guard have anything left in them at the end of turn 3. I almost forgot, as if all that other horror wasn't bad enough, the Necrons in this building managed to gun down Sly. All that shooting, they did 3 wounds to him, but it was enough to take him out of the game. Sly's never quite gone. He just drifts back into the shadows, so hopefully he'll be back next time. All right, so we will move on to Guard turn 3 and catch you guys up at the end. All right, end of Guard turn 3, and this is where we stand. with shots from the 2 Vanquishers, and then the last cannons from the... What is that? What's the super heavy called?
The Stormblade, I think.
Stormblade, yeah. I don't know why I keep missing that. So with those, the last cannons from that and the Vanquishers working together, they took out the Necron monolith over here. Both of these, the Walker and the Chimera, pumped some shots into here and killed a couple of these guys off. We pumped, let's see, the Destroyer and 2 Chimeras tried to finish off these guys, but couldn't quite do it. Even the heavy weapon team with the heavy bolters tried to join in and still couldn't bring that guy down. Over here, the Stormblade fired its shot off and hit those destroyers with a direct hit, but 2 of them still passed their 6-up reanimation protocol, so we couldn't quite take them out. And over here, with some orders and everything in this circle firing in at the Lord's unit, there are still 2 Lich Guard left. We managed to gain 2 points this turn, 1 for still holding objective 6, and another for destroying a unit, which was only the monolith this turn, which that was take no prisoners. If we could have destroyed 2 more units, which would have been 1 and 2, that would have been a D3, but alas, we couldn't knock those guys off. So I think at this point we're sitting at 4 points for the Imperial Guard at the end of turn 3 and 8 points for the Necrons. And they still have another Night Sai in reserve. And the Imperial Guard are starting to dwindle. So we're going to go ahead and call it there. The Necrons are just too dug in at this point on these back objectives, because those will be the objective cards that start to come up in our deck soon, and there's no way we're going to push them off of there. And the rest of their line is just pushing into the guard, and things are starting to get pretty thin. Overall, I think this was a fun game. It's just the Necrons caught an early lead and never let it slip, which there's nothing wrong with that. I wish the Avenger would have stuck around a little bit more, but that's the only thing I'm disappointed in. How about you?
Definitely like this game. It's very similar to the last list I used, aside from the spiders, which I think I may take them again.
Yeah, the spiders are fun to keep those scarabs, their numbers up.
Yeah. I think in my next game with the Necrons, if we get some more stuff painted, I might try some wraiths, and maybe to cut down points, I might cut a scythe, since after this, it seems that 3 is a pretty good number to have.
Yeah. Three is really nice. It definitely let them gang up on my 1 flyer. I think for this list, I don't have too much of a problem with this list. Maybe I didn't need the Stormblade, and maybe I should have sunk those points into something else, but it was nice to get another super heavy out on the table. I haven't really played Guard other than our Thanksgiving games since 5th edition, so this has kind of been a change. I've been playing a lot of either orcs or some type of marines, so this was a nice change. But definitely, I won't give up on the Guard. They'll be back again at some point, because that Avenger needs to get on the table again. I think for our next game is probably going to be either some Clash of Steel or Flames of War, and then some fantasy after that. Anything else you want to add?
I think I might be good.
Okay, all right. Thank you guys for watching. This was a short one, but it was fun, and the Necrons are definitely holding their title. I think they are 3-0 so far on our channel. So we'll have to see what we can do to bring those guys down a peg. All right, thank you all for watching. Have a good one.